On this week's Tuesday Talk, in our theme of organization, we're going to discuss downsizing and how it's a continual process that even living in a 200 square foot Airstream, we still need to deal with.
Yep.
So we're continuing our organization theme for one more week, and then we'll move on, but in honor of the new year.
But in this case, we get to organize fewer and fewer things.
Exactly.
So the process gets so much easier.
Yeah, I heard a really
especially
funny
for people
quote.
like me who this isn't my strong suit, so I do the best I can.
Well, I heard a really funny quote that it's like something about the best way to organize is to eliminate or something. As we have a really loud vehicle by us.
It never fails.
No. The KOA gets super, the F-16s come out, it just gets crazy.
This is what you get for camping in a city.
Yeah.
But moving on.
Anyway, so yeah, the best way to organize is to eliminate. And there is some truth to that.
Oh, for sure.
We downsized a lot so far. We've downsized from 2 fairly big homes.
Into one. That was huge.
It was
My house was a
1,500
mess.
Yeah, 1,500 square feet. Well, yeah, going from your house to one house, 2 houses to one house.
Mess.
And then the one house to the Airstream.
Yeah.
So 1,500 square feet to 200 square feet.
That was a big job.
That was a big job. That was a lot of downsizing. We're still downsizing. There are still things that we go through cabinets every once in a while and we're like, have we used this in any at all since we've lived in the Airstream? And if the answer's no,
keep. If no, chuck.
Exactly.
Or sell or give.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The downsizing is I think, a continual process, and it really depends on your life, and your life changes. So I wouldn't be surprised once we hit the road if there's a bunch of stuff that, while we may have used a lot here at the campground while we were stationary, we don't use anymore.
It's kind of like health. So you get yourself to a certain point where you're comfortable, but then you don't just stop.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you'll balloon back up to where you started, or shrink if you're trying to put on weight. So you get to where you want to be, and then you
There's
continually chip away to make sure that you stay.
Yeah.
Or you can go back and forth, start acquiring, then you pare down again, start acquiring, pare down again. Regardless of how big your house is, that process always applies.
So the way we handle how much stuff we should have, we don't count.
No, I have 17 things.
No, he doesn't. If you group all of clothes into one and all of camera
and all my
stuff into
camera
one.
17 things, yeah.
We don't count because why? That just seems like added stress to us.
And it's like, well, I have 17 and you have 18, so that means I get to buy something else.
Yeah.
And that's...
Or I'm better than you, or I don't know. Counting works for some people. We don't count.
Counting's hard.
We do it more on a emotional level. It's if we use something and we love it.
Because I have like 20,000 chargers. So is it like 20,000 different items that I get tallied up on my end? Well, I don't want that. Or cords.
He has a lot of cords.
What about the charger and the cord? Are these 2 different things or are they one? I don't know. It's too confusing. We don't do it.
Yeah. So we keep the things that we love and that we use.
Absolutely.
And there are some methods for downsizing that we use. We, in some cases, use the one in, one out policy, depending on what it is.
Yes. You take something in, you have to ditch something or
get
sell
rid of
it
something,
or give it.
Yeah. Especially for clothes. Or like we just got some nice new kitchen towels on sale. And our kitchen towels have been getting pretty ratty. And so...
There's tears in them. And
So 3 new towels in, 3 old towels out.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Net zero, baby.
Yeah, exactly. And really, like, those were towels we weren't going to use them now that we had new ones anyway.
Yeah,
so that was the point. A lot of people suggest that anything you're unsure about, you put away in a box somewhere and leave it, and then you have to remember to go back and check on it to see if you use it.
And that implies you actually have the storage too. Certainly don't pay for storage unless you absolutely unless it's unavoidable.
But we do that. We have a drawer that right now has a few things in it that we haven't used in months. Yeah. And if those things are still not used by the time we hit the road on April 1st, then they're not coming with us.
Off with you.
So even in our little tiny space, we've found a way to do the maybe pile. So it's doable.
Yeah. It's always a process.
Yes.
And it's always fun to get rid of stuff. Don't you feel better Don't you feel better after getting rid of stuff? I certainly do.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not a natural organizer, it still feels nice.
It does.
To have less stuff to maintain and deal with and find
yeah.
a place for and all that good
As
stuff.
long as you don't get rid of stuff that you actually need. So you can go overboard. And some people do. But for us, if it fits and we use it and we love it, it stays. And if it doesn't,
it goes.
it goes.
It's pretty simple.
Yep.
In theory.
Yeah. And like I said, I have a feeling once we hit the road, some of the things may change. Because we'll be doing...
Oh, yeah, I would imagine so. It's a learning process.
Different things.
Yeah. We'll reacquire some things that we may have thrown out that we realized we actually do needed, and that's just part of the process. Yeah. It's no big deal.
And we say get rid of or throw out. In general, that means give away. Sometimes we'll sell things. Sometimes if they're like beyond help, we will throw them away. But most of the time...
Like the towels, yeah.
Actually, yeah, no, like the towels. They're pretty bad. I think I'm going to cut them up for rags. But most of the time, if it's still usable, we give it to Goodwill or something like that. Because I don't really like things going in the landfill that don't have to. So...
fair enough.
Yeah. So that's it for downsizing. I'm sure there's lots of tips and tricks on downsizing that we missed. We'd love to hear about them since we're continuing our downsizing journey, as I'm sure many of you are. And
if there are any other cool ways for us to get rid of our junk, let us know, because we are all about that.
Yeah, even with the amount of junk we have, we still have junk. So I think that's it. Motorcycle.
Do you hear it? Yeah, I do. It's over there.
Okay, so I think that's it for this Tuesday talk. Next week, we will start talking about health for a week. Yeah.
One of my favorite topics.
I know.
Let's do it.
So we'll talk about that. And the rest of this week, we're going to show you around our Airstream and give you some tips and tricks of organization, but actually show you them. And on Friday, we have one more organizational item that we love. So
I'm not sure I know
for
what
our
this
Friday
is.
favorite. Oh, you'll see.
It'll be a surprise for all of us, I guess. Only you know.
You'll find out.
What else is new?
As always, if you like these videos, if you like those kinds of topics, we'd love to hear from you in the comments, and we'd really appreciate it if you gave the video a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet,
subscribe. It's a red button. Hard to miss.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And we will see you next week.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.